Alright, so today we're going to talk about Pythagorean Theorem. And this is a triangle. It has an A and B and then a C. And I'm going to explain to you what those mean. This is a formula. The Pythagorean Theorem is to use A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Sometimes it's on the test, sometimes it's not. But I still have to cover it and you still have to understand what it is. So that leads us to this problem. If I have 6-inch and 9-inch sides, wait, did I go too fast? Yep, sorry about that. Pythagorean Theorem relationship A squared plus B squared equals C squared. And this is going to give you an explanation of what each of those means. A and B are the legs of a right triangle. A and B are the legs of the right triangle. And C is the hypotenuse. That is the side opposite the right triangle. And the formula is used to find the length of one of the sides of a right triangle when the other two sides are given. And I jumped ahead too far on my slide. So this one is, what side is C? What is side C? What is side C, right? C would be the C squared. And then you plug in the other two numbers into the formula. So if 6 is my A and 8 is my B, then I would set it up as 6 squared plus 8 squared equals C squared. 6 squared is 6 times 6, which is 36. And 8 squared is 8 times 8, which is 64. Those two added together gives me 100 and equals C squared. However, you're not done. That's not the answer. It's not 100 because this is C squared. And to get rid of the square, you have to square root each side. That is a very important step. You miss that step, you're going to get it incorrect. You square root each side. What is the perfect square of 100? What one number multiplied twice gives you 100? And you would say 10. In your calculator, you would do 100, and then you would hit the shift key, and then you would hit the x squared key, because right above it is a little square root, and then it's going to give you 10. That's how you're going to find the square root of a problem on the calculator. And then square rooting the C squared just means it's C. Because C times C equals C squared, so C equals 10. Another problem I put up is a word problem. And a beam across the front of a garage needs to be replaced. What is the length of the beam to the nearest foot? And this had multiple choice to choose from, and I worked out the problem, except I didn't give you the answer. So if each side is 22 feet, and this is the beam that needs to be replaced, then that would be the C squared. This would be the hypotenuse. These are the two legs. You plug them into the formula. 22 squared plus 22 squared equals C squared. They're big numbers. I get that. But you know how to get these numbers on here. 22x squared would give you the 484. Then you add those two, you get the 968. And then you have the C squared, and you put your brakes on, and you square root each side. And then you do 968 shift x squared. It's going to give you 31.1126987. And they said to the nearest foot. So you're rounding it. So if it was 31.1126, let's just stop at those 4 decimal places, then we round it to the nearest foot. That's a 1, and it just is 31. And it's in feet, so it would be 31 feet. And that is how you would get the measurement of that. Now the next one I gave you, I need you to figure out what B is if you're given A and C, because that's done a little differently. And this one, I didn't give you the word problem, I just gave you a picture. And if the hypotenuse is 15 feet and the B leg is 8 feet, then what is the A leg? And so we would put in our formula, plug in our numbers, and then we would figure it out. However, it's set up a little differently. It's going to be set up more of an algebraic concept way because you have to get A by itself. And to do that, you have to do the opposite of adding, which is to subtract. And I subtract from each side. Whatever I do to one side, I have to do to the other. It's an algebra world rules, not the ones I make up, right? And then a squared equals 161. And again, not a perfect square, but it's okay because you have the calculator. 161 shift x squared. It's going to give you 12.68857754, some long number. And what you need to do is just round it maybe to the nearest whole number. And this 6 changes that to a 3, and that becomes 13 feet. And then that would conclude how that Pythagorean theorem works in a formula way. Thank you.